Disclaimer. This video did not go as planned. The thing is, I wanted to dive into some theories behind some of their music videos. It was a perfectly innocent idea, and two of the theory videos achieved exactly what I wanted, and the other one I did not pay attention to when I pulled it because it says very clearly in the comment section of it that it is to do with the BTS universe, and I know nothing because I have been in ARMY for about a month and a half. So this is what happened to me.
Sugar got expelled from school? Is this real? Seizures? Is that real? Oh, I have chills. Oh, I have chills. Oh, I have chills. After he stabbed his father. I'm sorry, what? Is it a story? Is this a storyline? I'm so confused.
So yeah, this video didn't go as planned, but here we go.
Hey guys, welcome back to Lex Listens. Today we are doing another reaction. We're doing a little bit of a different reaction. You guys will have to let me know if you guys really like this video or if it's just not the vibe, what you guys think, and if I should do any other BTS songs theory videos. So I've pulled up 3 explanation videos. The first one is BTS Black Swan music video meaning explained, breakdown and analysis by Bookish Theories. The second one is BTS Fake Love explanation, what do the items and rooms mean, solved by X Celeste. And then the last one is Blood, Sweat, and Tears, what does it all mean by Don't Worry, I'm Not Afraid. So I decided to go with 3 different makers, YouTubers, because I wanted to see some variety. And then also, these are 3 music videos that you guys recommended me check out what it means. I did watch one that was related to Blood, Sweat, and Tears the day that I actually reacted to Blood, Sweat, and Tears, but I haven't watched any since, so I thought it'd be interesting to check it out. Also, I just wanted to quickly insert a little moment. I got my first package from one of you guys, and it was amazing. Somebody on my Patreon reached out, told me that they wanted to send me something, and they sent me the B album pack thing that comes with all the little pictures and the poster and all that stuff. And I actually took a video of me opening it on my phone. It's not high quality or anything, but I thought I'd insert it because I was so surprised and I was so shook. So thank you so much, CJ. You know who you are. And yeah, I really appreciate it. I thought it was the cutest little thing, and I was literally watching TV while I was opening it. So, I mean, there's noise in the background, but here's the video.
My phone's recording. It is. I think it's their album. Oh, it's their little album pack thingy. That is so nice. Hold on, I need to find something to open it.
Should we go sit down? We're not tourists.
I was walking in the park today, it almost felt like we'd never left.
And not because of the classes, but the whole experience. The other students. Don't tell me you're gonna make me eat all these oysters myself. Bah. Excuse me.
Oh, that is so cute. I'm so happy.
So once again, thank you so much. I know I also have a candle coming from one of you guys, and I'll definitely share that when I get it as well. But if you guys ever want to send me anything, I do have an address that you can send it to, and you can just reach out to me on Instagram. But yeah, I just thought it was like a happy moment. And B is an album that I'll be checking out after Map of the Soul 7. So I'm saving it because I don't want to open it and listen to it before. Well, I did open it and go through all the stuff, obviously, but I didn't want to listen to the CD yet, but that CD will live in my car permanently. So yeah, that's I just wanted to put a little quick message in there. But we're gonna start with Black Swan, Meaning Explained. And this music video was stunning. This was one of my earliest reactions, I think. So it's been a while since I've seen the music video. But Jimin is absolutely beautiful in it. I didn't realize it was Jimin the first time because I think I was still relatively new at that point. But he's stunning in this one. All right, let's go.
Hello and welcome back to Bookish Theories. In today's video I would like to talk about BTS's Black Swan surprise music video, focusing on a little breakdown and analysis of the MV while I try not to get distracted by the visuals.
Hard to do.
Since I already did 2 videos about Black Swan, if you want to know more about the lyrics, the choreography and the symbolism they've used in the concept,
she has a lot of
I will leave
videos.
the links in the description down below for you to check out in your own time. But for now, let's focus on the video. According to the Big Hit press release, the music video portrays the boys gradually transforming on stage from swans to black swans, as the song contains BTS's true confession as artists who understood what music really means to them. Right off the bat, this is very telling because if on the one hand the song represents the key stage of the inner journey the boys have been portraying in the album, that is them descending into themselves and confronting their own shadow, on the other, the choice of shooting the video in a theater is meant to convey the idea that they use their own art as a medium of self-discovery. This is important because even if the video shows us that a transformation is taking place, the boys are not actually transforming into anything that they aren't already. You see, in the video, the white swan and the black swan are used as a metaphor for the persona and the shadow. So much like the persona and the shadow are 2 parts of our identity that all of us have.
Deep.
The white swan and the black swan are 2 sides of BTS that coexist in the same individuals. This idea was obviously inspired by Carl Jung's original Map of the Soul, but the metaphor of the black swan representing the shadow was heavily influenced by Black Swan, which is a movie that is also referenced in the video. Much like what happens to BTS throughout the Map of the Soul series, the protagonist of the movie is initially defined by the white swan persona, but as the story progresses, her art pushes her to dive deeper into herself and set the shadow free in the form of a black swan. Now, in the movie, this descent has horrible consequences, but in BTS's case, this inner journey is part of a bigger process that involves a metaphor.
Interesting.
First death that is followed by a rebirth. This is also the focus of.
So descent, search, ascent. So Black Swan, the song, is like the descent on. It's like saying that they're searching. Oh, interesting.
On music video, but let's take a closer look at the MV to see what's going on. At the beginning, we see Jimin's white swan persona on a dark stage. Now, watching the video, Jimin is surely the member with more screen time and more things happening to him. But this transformation should be regarded as something that all of them actually share. Since Black Swan deals with an inner journey that is approached from the perspective of an artist, all of them are portraying the same metaphor, the same individual, the same process, and the same experience. In the song, their shadow takes on the form of their greatest fear, that is them losing passion for the very thing that defines.
Yeah, that's one thing that I learned like after the song Black Swan is that I think this is the one that's about like they talk a lot about their first death because there's like a saying or like a quote from somebody that says, basically your first death is like the death of your passion. So like kind of revolving the idea that like maybe their music one day they would lose passion for, and that would be their first death, which I think is very interesting.
Up to that point. So in this context, 1 is 7 and 7 is 1. This is also confirmed by the fact that even if Jimin starts to dance by himself, the video immediately cuts to the 7 of them continuing the same choreography. This right here is BTS's persona. They are the perfect white swans doing their thing. But if you look closely, their outfits already show the signs that their shadow is coming through. Even if they're dressed in white, all of them have some black details that foreshadow the inner struggle at the core of the song.
Interesting.
And sure enough, when Yoongi takes the stage, his shadow is unleashed. Now the setting here is an important aspect to consider. The video was shot in the Los Angeles Theater in downtown LA, and even if this place is incredible, this choice was not only made for aesthetic purposes. You see, in his theories, Jung said that the theater could be used as a metaphor for the dream. The theater here represents the inner place where the dreamer is the scene, the actor, the audience, the author, and the critic. So if we follow this analogy, Black Swan depicts the unconscious part of ourselves that comes to the surface when we dream. And if we go back and take a look at...
Yeah, that's one thing I didn't really notice the first time, because I feel like you don't really notice the shadows, because especially I was so new, it was one of my first songs, and that is so interesting to me.
Love, this actually makes sense. Back then, the boys were outside of the theater because it was all about the persona, and the persona is all about the external aspects of our personality.
Interesting.
Now it's all about the shadow, so we're seeing the inside of the theater because the boys here are going inside of themselves. This is something that was also foreshadowed in Lights, because in that video we actually got inside of the theater, but the boys played the part of the audience and saw their persona on screen.
I haven't seen that.
Even if the lyrics already hinted at the idea that their shadow was taking a toll on them and that they wanted to face it, the focus was still on the light. In that video, every time they tried to reach for the light, time stopped like it does in the lyrics of Black Swan. And this is because back then, they were still running away from the shadow and putting all their attention on the persona they saw on screen. Their persona is what connects them to ARMY, what made them become your light, but Black Swan removes the filter of the screen, thus showing us the conflict that is taking place inside of them. This is what the boys here are physically on stage. The video is showing us a gradual descent into their unconscious, so even if in the first half the persona is still performing on stage, as the video progresses, the shadow becomes more and more independent and their transformation more and more obvious. In Sugar's scene, for instance, the shadow is confined to the stage, which implies that their art is not only what defines them the most, but also the first thing that is affected by the shadow. Since they identify so much in what they do, their fear first appears on stage. But as we see in RM and V scenes, as time goes on, their shadow becomes bigger and bigger and starts taking over even outside of their workplace. Halfway through the video, we are so deep inside of them that the white swans completely disappear and Jimin actually grows wings. This could be a representation of their first death. That is, the shadow taking over and showing itself in its original form. And even if at first glance this seems like a bad sign, in reality it is far from it, because they need to experience this first death in order to be born again as new individuals. The point here is not to fight the shadow, but to recognize it as a part of them in order to bring...
Bro, this is deep. What's crazy to me is that the first time I watched the video, I was like, wow, the visuals, the dancing, it's cool. But here we are. And it's way deeper. Oh, I love this. I love it. I love it. Oh, gosh. That is so deep. Who comes up with this stuff? Excuse me? Like, I don't know. My mind already hurts. This is only the first one.
In their identity. This is why Jimin's transformation takes place right before J-Hope's birth. Hobie's lines here are probably the most important ones because they basically explain what we see in the video. The deeper they go, the harder it gets. But in the deepest part of themselves, they see themselves, which is the Black Swan shadow that hides behind the mask of the White Swan persona. In the video, when Hobie says that he sees himself, he actually points at Yoongi. And this is because, as I mentioned earlier, all of them are playing different parts of the same person. This is something that we also saw in Fake Love, for instance, and back then, the song foreshadowed the same process that we are seeing in Black Swan. In Fake Love, the focus was on them over-identifying with the persona and transforming into something that they no longer recognize. And when Hobie pointed at JK, which again symbolizes himself, he admitted that he didn't know who that person was. Now it's different because the boys are finally accepting the shadow as a part of them. So when Yoongi says that he wakes up in the studio and that he saw himself inside of himself, in the video we see that his shadow is back to normal. This shows us that the only way to overcome your shadow is to accept it as a part of yourself. Because as we see in Jin's scene, the shadow will always be a reflection of the person that you are. The shadow is inside of you whether you look for it or you ignore it. In order to be born again as new individuals, we have to acknowledge the shadow as part of ourselves.
Interesting.
So that's it from me today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please think about liking and subscribing.
Oh man, that was good. She did a very, very good job. That the whole concept of the shadow, I mean, I knew that the map of the soul, like, theory type of thing was very prevalent in, like, that era of them. But it's interesting because I think there's three parts of the soul: persona, shadow, and ego. So basically this whole video is them kind of like, not the battle between them, but the idea that they both exist. And the shadow, if they don't accept it, interesting. If they accept like at the end, they actually accept that part of themselves, which allows them to be reborn, which is so interesting. I really enjoyed that video. I really did. I feel like I sat there and just absorbed for a lot of it, so hopefully it's not boring for you guys to watch, but interesting. And the idea of the theater, that's another part that really got me. The idea of the theater, especially when she connected it back to Boy With Love, and the idea that they were dancing outside the theater because they were representing their persona, but then in this one they're confronting their shadow, so they're inside their theater. I'm very impressed. And now I need to move on because I need to know them all now. So this is by X Celeste. I've watched a couple of her videos and I thought it'd be interesting. So this is the Fake Love explanation.
All right, this is the beginning of the slow decline. Once again, just a disclaimer that I had no idea. It was totally my fault, but no idea that I was getting into BTS universe stuff. And I found myself very confused, especially not knowing that. Totally my fault. Just a disclaimer, totally my fault. But I thought I'd share with you guys because it's kind of entertaining to watch me struggle.
Ooh, interesting. I mean, it's all theory. Nobody ever knows if it is real unless it comes from them directly. Exchanging their past fears for something that makes them happy. Oh, interesting. Sugar got expelled from school? Interesting, this is a lot of different music videos. this real? Seizures. I'm so sorry. What the heck is happening? Okay, we're gonna pause. We're halfway. I'm gonna look up Fake Love and I'm gonna watch it. Am I misremembering this music video?
Just for you, just for you, just for you. Who are you?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening. I really don't. I think this X Celeste video, I'm sure it's great, but I think that I'm not deep enough to know what's happening.
And this, my friends, is where I should have recognized that I should just end the video and move on to the next one. But being the stubborn person I am, I decided to continue. Enjoy.
I truly don't know what's... Oh, wait. We're gonna skip past... Okay. I just don't remember... Do they have items at some point? Oh, they do! Not gonna lie, it's a little too much for me. But we're gonna start here because I see scenes that I definitely recognize from the music video. I feel like my brain hurts. Hold on one second. So this is like one of the opening scenes. Is that real? The container represents his home. Did he really? Did J-Hope's mother really abandon him? Oh, I have chills. Oh, I have chills. Oh, I have chills. Oh, it is like a dance room and a bathroom. Wait. Filled with phones. After he stabbed his father. I'm sorry, what? Ooh. I know it says save me, but then if you turn it, it actually says I'm fine. The other's fears come rushing in. Fake love, temporary happiness. That one was a little much. My brain hurts. My brain hurts. I truly have nothing to say. My brain hurts. Like all of it, really. RM was living in poverty inside like a little container. And Tae stabbed his father? Is this a part of like the universe storyline? Because I don't really. Is it a story? Is this a storyline? I'm so confused. Guys, I'm really confused. Please help. Send help. We're gonna move on. To Blood, Sweat, and Tears. We're gonna move on.
At its surface, Blood, Sweat, and Tears is a song about the dangers of temptation, and furthermore, the loss of innocence. The music video provides context through symbolic images, which allows these themes to take on deeper meanings. But what does it all mean, you ask? Let's get cultured AF as we take a closer look.
Let us. Money.
So, it's an understatement to say there's a lot of symbolism packed into these 6 minutes. I know it may just look like every choice was made for the purpose of aesthetics, but I promise you, every single painting, statue, feather, and drop of wax means something.
Really?
Although there are allusions from multiple sources of literature, each symbol works harmoniously with the next to create a larger system of meaning throughout the video. But let's take this a little at a time.
Jimin's shoulder.
The
He does
most
that stuff
useful
on
frame for
purpose.
understanding this video is through the story of Demian by Hermann Hesse. Published in 1919, this building's roman tells the story of Emile Sinclair and his journey to find himself. For further context, the ideologies presented in Demian are heavily influenced by the ideas of the German philosopher Nietzsche. Nietzsche often wrote about the creation of the self, or as he puts it, becoming what one is. He claimed that people must craft their own identity through self-realization, and to do so without relying on anything transcending that life, such as God or a soul. Sinclair does not go on this journey of discovery alone, however, for he has many mentors who guide him. His dear friend, Max Demian, is the first and most important mentor. The others include Demian's mother, Frau Eva, and a wise organ player named Pistorius. Anyways, this motif of mentoring relationships is where I'd like to begin. In the opening of Blood, Sweat, and Tears, we see each of the younger members paired with an older member, their mentor.
Oh, interesting.
They are still surrounded by symbols of innocence, not yet having embarked on their journey of self-discovery. Jin, the oldest member, stands alone, admiring the painting, The Fall of the Rebel Angels. He is about to begin his journey. As Jin gazes at this depiction of the battle between good and evil, Bach's Mass in B minor plays in the background. Jin stands perfectly between two doors, one black, one white.
Oh,
One good,
I didn't see that.
one evil. In Demian, Sinclair is constantly being tempted by things that belong to the realm of darkness. He feels trapped in his traditional religious teachings and develops a fierce desire to break free and expand his worldview. In the novel, this is symbolized by the sparrowhawk. Sinclair finds some freedom when Demian introduces him to the idea that the world cannot be categorized into binary categories of good and evil, but rather there is good in all evil and evil in all good. This concept is represented by the god called Abraxas. The deity is neither good nor evil, but rather an affirmation of the existence of both. Furthermore, Abraxas is often depicted breaking out of an egg. Part of finding oneself is embarking on a quest for knowledge, and part of this comes from embracing both realms, and in turn, embracing temptation. Once we take a bite of the apple, we cannot regain our innocence. We now have not only knowledge, but also sin, and there's no going back. The interlude of the music video has a couple of direct connections to Damien that I'd like to discuss. Of course, we have a direct quote that's read by RM, referencing Max Demian as a tempter.
He too was a tempter.
Another connection is the reference to Sinclair's mentor, Pistorius, the philosopher and organ player. Pistorius promises to play Sinclair Passacaglia in D minor, precisely what Jungi plays in this scene. Now, I know what you're thinking. What about the kiss? What reason could Jin
Yes, what is the
possibly
kiss?
have to kiss a statue? What does it all mean? Let me fill you in. Here we have another allusion to the end of the novel. I'll set the scene. Sinclair is wounded in battle, and Demian appears to him. Demian tells Sinclair that if he ever needs help, he need only look inside himself, and he will find that Demian is within him. Demian then kisses him on the lips and disappears. To me, this is the moment the entire music video hinges on. There are multiple layers of meaning to the kiss. Firstly, Jin is put in the role of Demian, giving a kiss to Sinclair. But at this point in the novel, Demian is revealed to be merely a piece of Sinclair himself. And so this is the moment Jin realizes he can now be his own mentor, and he has broken out of the egg. He has achieved creation of the self. The other layer of meaning we must acknowledge here is that Jin is finally embracing the two realms. He is kissing Abraxas, the very embodiment of both good and evil, and so he is shedding his former innocent skin. Throughout the music video, V was shrouded from view under a veil. He was a fallen angel, representing evil and temptation. The moment Jin was able to face him, he destroyed the false world of light he once inhabited and welcomed chaos unleashed. This is what Lacan would call the real. Jin is unsutured from the symbolic order when he faces the rupture between the symbolic and reality. In fact, it's Nietzsche's quote we see here, engraved above the mirror. You still have to have chaos inside you in order to be able to give birth to a dancing star. The old version of Jin, existing only in the realm of light, begins to crumble. There's no chaos in him, and so he cannot give birth to the dancing star. What this means, essentially, is we must all suffer this fall from grace and face reality so that we can create our genuine selves. It is only once we're armed with this true sense of self, finally knowing who we are, that we can spread our wings and fly. Like
About
Sinclair,
Icarus.
too wants to be free and soar to great heights, but he aims too high, quite literally, and pays the ultimate price for his
Flying
recklessness.
too close to the sun.
He ignores his father's warnings about flying too close to the sun until it melts the wax that binds his wings, and he plummets to his death.
The wax.
You all know the story. Behind the neon lights, we can see The Lament for Icarus by H.J. Draper. The Icarus imagery continues as we see Jungkook levitating, neither falling nor flying, surrounded by little bits of feathers. Endymion, Sinclair tells Pistorius that he's afraid of dreams in which he is able to fly, to which Pistorius replies, "It is the feeling of being linked with the roots of power." BTS's music and videos often tell coming-of-age stories, and the Blood, Sweat, and Tears music video is no exception. This is an important fact to remember as we watch their youthful characters struggle and grow. Although the illusions and symbols in their videos may seem daunting at first, it's important to remember that at their core, these are just stories about growing up. These are struggles we can all relate to on some level or another, and that's what makes them so great. And the massively impressive visuals and choreographies. Well, they're pretty dope too.
On the shoulder. I love it. Guys, that was a good explanation video. That was very good. I highly recommend that one. Wow. That was fun. That was fun. That was a good time. I really enjoyed that. One day, when I'm no longer a baby ARMY, I will check out like the whole BTS universe storyline. I think I haven't seen enough in order to do that currently, obviously. But that was super interesting. Blood, Sweat, and Tears was one of the music videos that really like shook me when I first listened to it. I was very shook. But I am shook at how much time and effort it takes to decode these. Who is it that comes up with these storylines? If you guys know, please tell me. Like, is it one of the members? Is it like one of their manager people? Is it like, that is so insane in such a good way. I'm excited for when they come back, because if there's one thing that I learned from this video, it's that nothing is ever as it seems. And the dancing is a distraction. It's a good distraction. But there's such a deeper meaning that the dancing distracts from. Oh my gosh, guys. That was craziness. I'm gonna like lay down and think about my entire life. I love you guys. I'll see you very soon. Mwah. And just to clarify, I do plan on getting into the BTS universe stuff once I have been in ARMY for much, much longer, but I was not planning on getting into it this soon and have no idea what I just learned. So I'm going to pretend like I never learned it, and I hope you enjoyed the slow descent of me trying to follow when I knew nothing. Bye, guys!